this is Argama Witch, and today I'm going to be playing the Floret Bond demo. Found this over on Itch.io, and the artwork, this artwork right here, just sold me on it, and I'm like, I need to play this, and I need to play it now. So I don't know anything about it, except these characters are fucking adorable. So let's start. I guess it's visual novel, it's by, Renpai thing, so. Select character. Name. Blue elf. She's blue elf. Ready. This is Bluff. Welcome, Bluff. I can't thank you enough for coming on such short notice. It's right this way. I haven't moved it since the last attempt yesterday. I'm afraid of dropping it. I walk halfway into the fancy halls of the client's home into what looks like a study. On the simple table in the middle of the room is a plate with a remarkably short candle. It's almost completely melted away. I see what you mean. It certainly is a precarious situation. An ever-burning flame enchantment isn't much good without a proper containment and a candle that matches. Where do you even find something like this? I met with Lebena merchant while visiting my mother in another village. After it was proven to me that the flame would last, I hadn't thought to check if the candle was on wood as well. Ah, that explains quite a bit. Lebena is truly the most magical city in the country, but you can never be certain of what's gonna come from there. I wouldn't be surprised if the merchants themselves haven't realized the candle wasn't enchanted. The effort saved by not doing that isn't worth the trouble of potentially being confronted by a furious customer who had their house burnt down. That's enough backstory, though. I'll begin neutralizing the enchantment. I close my eyes and focus on the flame and begin chanting, and as soon as I feel the heat of the flames whipping back to life, I have to open my eyes to make sure I stay a safe distance away from the flame. I try to regain focus. Eyes on the glowing fire, I continue to chant. Soon the raging flames have totally consumed what was left of the candle. I focus harder on the enchantment, and as my chant reaches its end, the flame is snuffed out. Thank goodness. We decide to continue our conversation outside since the whole debacle filled the house with smoke. Bluff. I can't show my appreciation enough. Without you, that little flame may have well been the end of me. I'm such a fool for bringing it into my house. Please don't be hard on yourself. Candles do tend to lose height slowly. It's completely understandable that you didn't notice immediately. Besides, each spell, curse, charm, and enchantment happen flawlessly on every occasion. There wouldn't be a need for people like me who chose to specialize in neutralization. Thank you for giving me a job to do. I realized a bit too late how poorly that might come across. After all, I'm sort of making my living off of other people's misfortune. Fortunately, it seems like they don't mind my comment and they laugh in good humor. You're welcome. To be honest, though, I don't want to make a habit out of it. I smile relieved. That's fair. The client gives me a pat on the back. Another task seems to have positive conclusion. It's getting late. I think I'll be off now. Evening then, Miss Bluff. With a friendly wave farewell, I begin to stroll off. Despite how well they took from what happened, I can't stop myself from replaying the conversation over my mind. I wish I could have spoken differently. Being able to study all kinds of magic is wonderful, and people definitely need help neutralizing wayward magic. It is disheartening that so many see neutralization as the worst category to specialize in. Thinking on the bright side, at least it means I don't have much competition. In just a couple of years, I've been working as a neutralizer. I've had steady commissions. With time, as more and more people move into villages, and those villages grow into cities, I'm sure the importance of neutralizers will only become more obvious. For now, I can accept the fact that I'm the only one around who loves this type of magic. I see my house just up ahead, and I'm definitely glad for it. I just need to take my mind off work for a while. I step inside an empty room. I'm home. I sigh happily as the scent of my drink wafts towards my face. There is hardly anything better than sipping on a nice cup of tea on such a lovely day. The only way this could be any better is maybe having someone to share it with. Unfortunately, the pleasant atmosphere doesn't last long. Just as I set my teacup down, both it and I are shaken by a distinct, unnecessary loud knocking at the door. Truth be told, I was really hoping to relax. I suppose I should be more understanding, though. After all, if someone is coming to me, it probably can't wait for normal working hours to return. On the bright side, it might be something worth seeing, or it might not even be work. Best not to put it off either way. I head to the door and open it and give whoever my visitor is my warmest smile. Only to have it falter at the sight. This is surprising even for me. Still, I can't have them feeling nervous now. Good evening, sir. Can I help you with something? Of course. Look, can't you see? Oh my, you have a little bird on your back. I know that much. Get this off, please. I step outside to get a proper look. There is an obvious ring around the centaur's horn, and the harpy has a matching ring on its leg. Only one thought comes to mind. The two of you were giving a bonding seal. It is not wanted. We need you to make it gone. I hadn't actually realized I spoke it out loud. How did you get an unwanted bond seal? A seal is such an easy type of magic to disrupt. One needs absolute cooperation of the partner involved to have it work. The centaur's face contorts into anger, making me immediately regret speaking so freely. You don't have to answer that, if you'd rather not. It was a mistake. He is really distracting. Like, that yellow is very distracting to my eyes trying to read this. I'm just saying. But, I mean, he himself is not all that just... It was a mistake. It wasn't meant to be like this. I see. I'm sorry for your misfortune. I do not need that. I need someone who can take this off. Is that you or not? Oh, I need to drink water. It's drying out my mouth. I take an involuntary step back at his hostility. He seems to notice my hesitation and does his best to soften his expression. Can you please help? With a small sigh, I look over my potential new clients. Horned centaurs usually live solitary lives away from settled communities, and harpies aren't native to this region whatsoever. I wouldn't have expected to see either around here, but both together? It's very strange. On top of that, the predicament they're in. However, it happened. I can't imagine passing on this. I compose myself readily, readying my most professional voice. Alright, I understand what you need is. Now we'll have to discuss the matter of payment. How many coins? What kind? Well, I prefer to try working within my client's budget. I have no strict prices. It all depends. I'm not, He seems to struggle for a moment to find the words he's looking for. Haggling. Delivery is awkward, as though he's never said it out loud before. The centaur's lapse of surety vanishes with his next statement. Tell me the coins. He isn't used to making exchanges, that's obvious. I'll have to make this simpler. I wonder of making a living off commission tasks. Then I will. I must ask you to at least bring your funds first. However, neither of you seem to be carrying currency on your person. I get what you need, and nothing else. I see. Did you leave it all in a hotel you're staying at? Whichever one you've chosen? I know the owner quite well, actually. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble reading this because his color is honestly distracting me. I'm gonna actually put up a piece of paper so I can't see his color. I don't know why it's doing it. It's making it so hard to read this because it's right... I don't I don't know what it's doing to my eyes. But I'm just gonna put a piece of paper right over that yellow. It's like burning my eyes. Alright. Oh, that's better. I see. Did you leave it in the hotel you're staying at? Whichever one you've chosen, I've known the owners quite well, actually. They've likewise had to hire me at one time or another, haha. He gives me a very confused look, and I shuffle awkwardly, and then start wringing my hands in embarrassment. What have I done this time? Does he dislike small talk? That would not surprise me, actually. This area lets horses in hotel rooms? Oh, of course, what was I thinking? No, that doesn't make sense. I suppose horses wouldn't be allowed in a building. I apologize for the insensitivity. He just stares at me blankly. Coming to the only conclusion left, I lower my voice to a whisper. Have you hidden it somewhere? I hope you've cast an invisibility enchantment, or perhaps some kind of coverage spell, or even... He stomps the ground hard with one of his front hooves, making the harpy on his back shake. The bird looks much less ruffled by the motion than I. Why are you doing this? Tell me what you need. Tell me what I need to bring and I will bring it. Why are you saying so many things I don't need to hear? You're right. I'm sorry to pry. My apologies again, sir. I agree with him. Like, she is just going on and on about nothing. He sighs, trying to regain his composure. I think he feels sorry for startling me. It's a bit hard to tell, though. Once I know what coins you want, I will make a trade, and then I will pay your price. Ah, there's a trading stall right in the center of the village. If you could describe me what you brought, I could give you some advice. Maybe... Never mind. He sighs again at my attempts to help. He views me as a nuisance. That part is not difficult to figure out. I don't need advice. I have everything. Whether I like it or not, my kind has more magical virtue than almost anything else, and we're not easy to come by. Oh, lords, you don't mean to say that you're gonna sell part of yourself? That is what I'm saying. Blood, hair, or shavings from my nails, hooves or horn. Nothing that'll harm me. I will get your payment. Dear, oh dear. He pays no mind to my fretting, his mind elsewhere. One of his back hooves kicks up some dirt while he mulls something over. You need objects for at least a few of your spells, I wager. Anyone I make a trade with won't part with it easier than I would. It might do you well to take some of me for yourself instead of simple coin. Make things quicker, too. My goodness. I'll take that deal. His face brightens for the first time. It's such a delicate change. It almost certainly won't last. It was a good idea? Yes. After this is all finished, I will lend you a hairbrush and you can brush your mane, and I will keep what is left behind in the brush. As anticipated, the soft look is gone after only a moment. My suggestion upsets him again. That's all? That'll be plenty. Your hair is quite long. I'll certainly find use for the strands. He doesn't look convinced, but I must not be concerned enough to argue the point. I don't know, whatever. Then we have a deal. I'm gladdened to hear it. He falls silent, watching me. I suppose he's expecting something to happen now. Ah, silly me. Please come in, come in. He lifts an eyebrow. Honestly, it's a little unwise to ask someone of his size into my cottage, all the more after my thoughtless comments about the hotel room, but there is work to be done. I don't mind, really. It's preferable to having you stand out here the entire time. With a shrug, he advances, visibly bracing himself for the task of fitting through the entryway. I open the door wide before I make my way inside ahead of him. I must have hit something. It takes a great deal of careful effort. Still, he manages to squeeze through the door frame. He does knock over a potted plant I felt too awkward to try moving from its spot by the entrance, but I think it was quite good it was really quite good, all considering. He looks down at the mess, frowning. I can clean it up later, don't fret over it. He gives me a brief nod and then settles himself in the middle. I thought he was gone. I pulled the paper down. I notice his smooth hooves are a bit unstable on the smooth stone floor. I'd give him my sympathy, but I'm certain that would sour his mood further. Well, we're here. Yes. Being so near this small space makes it impossible for me not to dwell on how he doesn't hold eye contact for more than a moment. Not to mention, the other man in this situation hasn't said a single word the whole time. I wonder if they're shy. I'm Blef, and you are? What? Is there any reason you need to know my name? Not necessarily. It's only nice to know what to call someone. He doesn't seem any less crossed. My fingers lace together as I look away. You don't need to answer. His fingers twitch. I assume he's stopping himself from balling his hands into fists in frustration. I wish I knew how to speak to this person. My name is Christian. I turn back to him in surprise. Oh, thank you, and he? I nod towards the bird. Perhaps I was hoping too much. After a pause, I look back at Christian and whisper my next question as though it's more politely if posed softly. Can he speak? He can. He won't. Truly? Why not? Is anything the matter? Is there something I can do? Ask him. Christian stares down at me, expression flat, and scoffs. I realize that must be the point. I understand. We both fall silent for a moment. Gata is his name. How did you? He told me. And that is it. Thank you, Christian. While I doubt I'll ever be changing his opinion on me before this is over, every other sentence I step on his toes. Not that he has any of those. I scan the room to avoid his unimpressed expression, trying to collect my thoughts. Prepared, I bring my arms to my side. Well, we should begin. Yes, good. Wait here for a moment. I will check my tomes. He says nothing. I hope that means he understood. I quickly slip away back to my back room. And he's still there. After some time spent in the little back study, I return, book in tow. There's a heavy thud as I place on the table. I rub my palms together, feeling more self-assured after the reprieve of focus on the task at hand. I've refreshed my memory, and that should be it. I know enough to begin neutralizing the bond. Christian nods with a serious expression, making the self-consciousness rise again. I'm afraid to see how he's going to react to the next step of this process. Would it be appropriate for me to touch the ring on either of you? It will help me channel the magic. His eyebrow raises the mention of the contact. Christian then immediately leans forward, extending his arm in my direction. I stare at it and then at his face. Is this his way of saying yes? How do I respond to this? My confusion doesn't elude him. My ring is too far. I'll lift you. Why can't he? You can leave Gata alone. Why can't he just bend down? Oh, I can get a stool or a box or something along that lines. You don't have to. Magic is dangerous. You could fall back. Let me hold you. This isn't as though I can argue the point. I nearly had my fingerprints singed off today. If it won't be an inconvenience, please do. You know, why is this art so much different than the other art? Tentatively, I step forward. Christian scoops me up easily, and I sit in his arms as neatly as if it were a tree branch. The whole time, he still refuses to make eye contact. Honestly, I'm not sure I would be able to maintain it either right now. I place 2 fingers on the ring and then close my eyes and begin to concentrate. The words of the incantation flow from my lips, and I can perceive the light emanating from the ring behind my closed eyelids. A part of my being detaches from its body and enters the ring. Finally, after cycling through the chant in full, I remove my fingers and grasp the air. You can place me down. Christian slowly lowers me down, careful not to let his hooves slip on the sleek stones. I slide off his arms and sit on the floor. I look up after catching my breath, and no, it didn't work. Christian moves his hands on impulse and touches the base of his horn. He sighs heavily at the physical confirmation. How is it possible? Who placed his bond on you? He doesn't reply. He just solemnly rubs his horn with his thumb. You don't need to answer. I was only speaking. This is not something I have dealt with in a very long time. Christian decides to give a response, his voice grave. What now? I think I should try again tomorrow. What good will it do? Today... This wasn't my first job today, so I may be tired. Also, I can use a stronger spell and objects to increase my strength. I said I would remove it for you, and I will. It isn't a foregone conclusion. And the price? Will be the same. Are you going to be alright staying in the area for the night? You're welcome to use my living area. No, I'll sleep outside, thank you. It was worded clumsily, but I appreciate his consideration regardless. I gave him a smile. What about food? Will you be able to have dinner? What do the two of you eat? We'll be fine. What time shall we return? Between dawn and noon would be ideal. Dawn, then. He inclines his head by the way of parting, then begins to stiffly make his way back to the door. Christian has to walk backwards most of the way, his balance threatening to give way with each clopping step. The whole debacle is difficult to watch. I have to pull at my dress to stop my hands from covering my eyes at the sight. Finally, he makes his way out of the house. Christian turns to yell back at me. Good night. Good night to you too, Christian and Gata. I'll see you soon. He kicks the door closed at the back of his hood, causing it to violently slam shut. Several items on my shelves rattle from sheer impact. It may be my imagination, but I think I hear a muffled apology under all the clattering. After a few moments of utter silence, I break it with a sigh. How surreal. As I lie in darkness, I try to soothe my mind enough to sleep. I certainly need to consider that all that I'll have to do tomorrow. I'm still not entirely sure why I wasn't able to neutralize the bond. Clearly this is going to be harder than I thought. I curl up under my covers, gratefully drift off shortly after. A field blanketed in snow appears before me, dotting with vibrant purple as far as the eye can see. I glance down at once and realize the purple is a flower. The petal is forming delicate stars and the stems covered with silvery threads. It is cool but not cold. That soothes me as I exhale. I speak into the stillness softly so not to disturb the peace. Wonderful. Onto the side, I notice a figure. As I drift closer, I see that it's Gata, the harpy from earlier. How nice. I leisurely close the distance between us. Once I reach his side, I crouch down near his level. Hello, what are you doing? I'm creating a creature from snow. Interesting, may I help? If you'd like. I would like very much that. I join him in scooping up handfuls of snow and pack them into shapes we need. I can't help but smile all the while. After it's finished, I admire the icy beast we've created. I stand feeling splendid as I stretch. It was such a pleasure. Thank you, Gata. I'm so happy we were able to officially meet. But where is Christian? The bonding seal limits how far apart you two can go. It does. So what happened? This is a dream. You two aren't awake. You're dreaming. Ah. I can't help sighing in disappointment. I suppose that explains why I wasn't more alarmed to see him here. Of course, none of this is real. I should have realized it was too much to be true. What do you mean, real? Well, I mean, this isn't happening. It's simply in my mind. What else could I mean by that? His expression is unreadable. There's no snow in the area that you physically are. Yes. We're speaking to each other. In a dream. In a dream reality. Wait, what? Your head didn't make me appear here. I came my own. My breath catches in my throat and I nearly go into a coughing fit. What? That's why I asked what you meant by real. Entering dreams is part of my speciality. You can enter dreams? I speak slowly as I process this. I feel so impressed. Amazing, Gata. That's amazing. Gata doesn't react at all. How is this possible? Harpies are known to be capable of nearly no magic at all, much less the option of specializing in a field. That's what they say. I'm sorry for what happened with the bonding seal neutralization. Oh yes, I have the whole host of questions in regard to that too. Most pressing is that bonding seals are connection magic, as is the ability to enter dreams. That's so. Does that mean those rings were put on by me? Were they were? That's what you're trying to say. But is what you are saying? But is that what you are saying? You know what? I'm done. I can't do this game. I'm so fucking bored with this game. I'm sorry. It's really pretty. It's really pretty. The artwork, like this artwork here is really gorgeous. Like this is gorgeous. This is gorgeous. The flowers, everything. But having the text over on this side, the yellow fucking centaur is just so distracting. The story moves at such a fucking slow pace and is so dragged out. I get what visual novels are, as that is what I've been doing a lot of lately. But this is dragged on, and it's so fucking frustrating because I'm so bored, and I'm constantly stifling yawns. And it's why I keep like stepping over my own sentences, where I'm like misreading things because I'm like stop yawning and all this other shit. I can't do it anymore. It's pretty, it's nice. If you want to do it, by all means, I'll try to leave a link in the description below. It's Floret Bond. I think this would be great as just an actual novel. I think they should take this text and move it maybe somewhere easier to read, like down here or off to the side somewhere. But just up in the top corners, just kind of out of the way. You can't see what's going on over here. Like, so he talks, his mouth moves, but I only just noticed that because I'm too busy over here looking, and by the time I'm done reading and look back over here, he's not doing anything anymore. They blink, that's about it. The animation's nice too, from what I see. Like, I've seen her mouth move a couple times briefly, but I'm so frustrated with this game. It's so pretty, and I want it to be good. Like, I want to enjoy this so bad, because I love fantasy. I fucking love elves. I love harpies. I love centaurs. I love all the fucking mythical beasts. I love cryptozoology and all that other bullshit. But I cannot with this game right now. I can't. I'm sorry. I just can't. So I'm leaving this episode here. If you want to play this game, link down below. And if you want to see something else from me, then please subscribe, do the YouTube shit, and in the next video we're gonna do something else because I just can't anymore. Alright, I'll see you then.